So what's your point?
Point? All right, so we're obviously doing this political satire against Donald Trump. He's Trump, I'm Miss Mar-a-Lago, which is his golf course in the Keys. And it's just sort of the satirical play on Trump. King Trump, he thinks he's a dictator. Miss Mar-a-Lago is like a vulgar display of luxury wealth. So this is my character. And we're here in, to support all the immigrants. So that's what we're here.
Too many immigrants for him to marry them all, right? So
I see. Well, are you talking about legal immigrants or illegal immigrants? That's gonna sort of draw the line.
These were children.
The DACA are the dreamers. They're kids.
They brought over as children. They pay $500 a year to be citizens. They all have to go to college. And they have to have a clean criminal record.
They're like all productive members of society, and it will economically devastate this country to have everybody deported. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's economics 101.
Yeah, but see, I'm an immigrant, but I'm a legal immigrant. So, as a legal immigrant, I'm not really happy when I see illegal immigrants coming to this country, to be honest with you. By definition, something that is illegal is illegal. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Rich people want the immigrants here because they work cheap, they don't have unions, and they're afraid. So what they do is they make people hate immigrants, but they really don't. It's just propaganda. They love immigrants. They love illegal immigrants.
See, again, from my perspective, it's irrelevant whether I like or don't like. What makes America great is the fact that it's a country of laws. And everybody is equal before the law. That's the fundamental principle.
Congress was unable to pass this law for 10 years, all gridlock. Obama passed it by regulation.
Correct.
So it can be erased by regulation.
Correct.
But, the reality is, 36% of New York City is immigrants. A lot of them are not legal. But they're the economy,
I mean, they're the ones that work. I mean, you think that companies are going to pay legal wages to people? I mean, I think it will economically devastate the city and this country.
But don't you think that sort of proves the point that it's detrimental to these illegals who come over here and probably, using your terminology, are being exploited by businesses?
Of them are escaping United States imperial wars. Look at the coup in Honduras, which Hillary approved of. It's become one of the bloodiest, most horrific places in the world. So they send their children on buses to get out from U.S. imperial dictatorships. So really, we have to fix foreign policy if we want to fix the immigration policy. So stop invading, stop bombing,
it comes down to this. People have had their lives here, and no fault of their parents. And I think it's like a horrifically inhumane and immoral policy to send people away who have been living here through no fault of their own. They are productive members of society. They are college educated. They already have their lives entrenched here. I think it's immoral, and I think we as a society should not succumb to that. I think it's really important.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm like a moral person, and I have like compassion, which
me too.
Which a lot of people don't. So
they're not living on welfare. They're not living on public
they're productive
food
members
stamps.
of society.
These people are hardworking. Some of them served in the military. You're going to tell them they're illegal?
I think if that kind of policy, you have to admit that you're going to really hurt people. And that's
I'm sorry?
You can admit it. Admit that that it's a policy that is really detrimental and really is going to hurt people. Then just admit it, and be okay with it.
See, I partially agree with you. I have a heart too.
You're going to displace a lot of people, so admit it and put it on Facebook and see if you have any friends. Do that.
Yeah,
I would say that. Go do that. Go tell everybody you feel that way, and see how many friends you have.
See, but the problem is the cause and effect. When you're concerned about the kids that are already here, had they not been allowed in the first place, then
they're here. They're here. What are you going to do?
Well, that's why it's
everybody. If you believe in that, then you should announce that. Announce that to the world, and let's see how many friends you have.
Friends, you mean of America?
Yeah, no. Just see if you are able to. I don't mean to be mean. But see if you are somebody who, everybody wants around and says, I don't know. I mean, just admit it and just tell people that and see if you have any friends.
You're talking about me personally?
Yeah. I was just saying, if you want to be honest about displacing people, then tell everybody.
No, I'm telling everybody.
Oh,
I am.
Okay, good, okay.
I mean, by definition, if somebody...
friends? Maybe not so many.
Maybe not so many.
See if you can exist in this society with that policy. and see if you can exist. Go ahead, that's fine.
Yeah, but look,
I don't want to live my life like that.
Look, but
I'm
America,
a nice person.
Me too, but
I'm running for city
America,
council, District 3.
good for you. America is my home,
Yes.
and
I am District 3.
Yeah, that's
It's crazy. Yeah.
I love it.
The real estate contributions are outrageous.
Your rallies.
I know. Well,
Like,
no.
Come into like the school auditorium and you're like rollerblading in with like a red, white, and blue
I
outfit.
gotta like tone it down a little bit. I gotta be serious. Serious candidate. Not now, though. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean.
that's
I
Because if
think-
you
I just
believe in
think
that
this is a
policy,
conscious
you're going to
attempt.
displace people. And to be honest about it,
It's a
be
conscious
honest about
attempt to
it.
scare people.
You're going to displace people and put it on your Facebook page.
Yeah, you got 800.
Be honest
I
about
will
it.
do that. I'll
Be
put this
honest
video on
about it.
YouTube. How about that?
Sorry, hi. No, I think it's important. I think people can't hide behind the fact that they want to be a nice person and have those policies. So announce it to the world
but-
and see how well you fit in.
Okay, so if I were to follow your logic,
Yes.
then maybe we should completely open borders.
No, I didn't say that.
So,
I didn't say.
then
I didn't.
how should we-
I said that the people that are already here, the dreamers through no fault of their own,
Okay.
and are productive members of society.
Okay, fine.
They should be able to stay
Okay,
here.
let's say you're right.
That's good
But
logic.
what's happened next? Do you know how many people we have over here? The so-called dreamers, the numbers?
It's a lot.
How many?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're
You should
kind
know.
of.
I don't know.
Oh, it's about close to a
I'm
million.
sorry. My head's in the Small
eight-
Business and Job Survival Act.
800,000.
Yes.
Now, I mean,
If they're productive members of society,
okay,
why not?
let's assume that.
Sorry.
Sure.
Is it all right for me to record this debate? I'm
Oh, of course. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you have to ask this
Is it
lady.
okay for me to record the debate?
Okay, yeah. I guess so.
Is it a problem?
Yeah, no. Where are you from? Where are you from?
If you find it interesting.
Where are you from?
No, I just, no.
So again, my point is that let's say we created, let's say, I wouldn't use the word system, but the situation where these 800,000 so-called dreamers are here.
Yes,
So
yes.
what's going to happen next? Are we
I
going to
think
open
if you
the?
displace all those people, it's going to be tremendously disruptive to their lives, but also to the economy of the United States, the economy of New York City.
I got your
And
point.
I think like I'm talking about really about a moral point of view where you can't have that kind of displacement where people have been living, 20, 30 lives of their lives in the city. Oh, hello. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really I think from a moral standpoint and from an economic standpoint, that's money, people. That you can't really displace people.
Well,
and I
first
think
of
we
all,
should have a
the-
policy like
the
that.
economics-
And I think honestly, you know what? There's a lot of things that I didn't like about Obama, but that one he was correct on.
Let's say, as far as economics are concerned, your numbers are, to put it mildly, a little bit wrong. So what you're saying is not exactly true. But let's say economics aside, you're talking about the heart. I mean, let's say these 800, going back to the cause and effect. Now, these 800,000 people came over here illegally. Keyword being illegally. They crossed the border in the middle of the night. They suffered, actually. They were being raped. Some of them were even murdered on the way from, let's say, Honduras or whatever place, was mentioned, on the way to here from Mexico. It's a long schlep. It's a
Right.
long trip.
Right.
We're talking about kids under 16 years old. I mean, that's the key. Think about teenagers riding their own on the trains.
Yeah, they had to though because
Why did they have to? Why?
Because
To start with, crossing the border.
there's no work in their countries. It's abject
Whose fault?
poverty.
Is it our
Of
fault?
course they're gonna,
But is
they're
this
going a
a-
better life.
but
Why,
is-
why deny them a
But
better
is
life?
this? How many people
Yeah.
in Africa or in China have high standard of living? So we're talking about billions with a B. Billions of people whose standard of living is abject. Literally abject poverty. I was in Brazil, I was in Argentina, I was in Paraguay, I was in Peru, I was in Guatemala, I was in Mexico, I was in Panama, just to use the countries
Listen,
in.
I know. Listen, I feel like I'm talking about abortion. I mean, either you're for it or against. So kind of this argument goes nowhere. But if you believe in a policy of displacement, you should be honest about it, and you should tell everybody and announce it to the whole world, and see if you have any friends, and see if you survive in the society.
The whole world knows.
I mean, if you want to be like that, that's fine.
No, but think about it this
Yeah,
way: the
yeah.
whole world knows.
To
To enter Mexico, You need a legal permission to enter Mexico. And by the way, if you enter Mexico illegally, do you think they're going to provide you with food and shelter and college and all the benefits that this is?
I believe in this American dream, and I believe if people come over here and the dreamers.
I think it's a good idea.
You realize that 40% of the immigrants fly here with visas, and that more Mexicans are leaving today than coming? You're aware of that?
Well,
it's propaganda, my friend. It's a racist meme. Don't spread it. Don't spread racist memes. This whole thing is to divide people over race. That's all this is. The ruling class loves poor workers here. This is bullshit. This is propaganda. Trump is manipulating to get you to get all like pro or anti. It's bull.
Bullshit. So you think that all these people can just illegally cross the border into this country? Billions of people who improve their standard of living?
I think it all comes down to that. The root of it is how much you identify with it.
The laws are in place. All the rest of this is propaganda, my friend.
I think it's about authority, and I think it's like if you identify with it. And I'm here to critique power and to critique authority, and to make and to mold it so it fits what the majority wants done. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm Marni Halasa. I'm running for City Council District 3. I got on the ballot, and I'm with the Green Party.
With the Green Party?
Yes, Green Party. All right, don't even talk about it, honey.
No, I'm not going to talk about that for sure.
Yeah. But thank you for talking to me.
Sure.
I have a completely different opinion, and that's fine.
Well,
Dude,
Hey, do you want my name?
I'll send you a
Want my name?
picture.
Sure, what's the name?
Oh, okay, I'll send it to you, money. Marni Halasa, Halasa. I'm half Arabic, half Filipino, but born in this country. And I am a lawyer, journalist, professional figure skater, theatrical protester, and I'm running for City Council District 3. Thank you. Honey, talent is talent.
Are you on the YouTube guy, the Russian, ex-Soviet guy? You're that guy, right?
How do you recognize me?
Your voice. Yeah,
My voice.
I never saw your face. I've never seen your face, but I know
it's
that.
hardly ever on camera, yeah.
Yeah, you're hardly on camera, but I've seen you around. I've seen you on your YouTube videos. Yeah, on the what was it?
That's kind of interesting. So what are you doing over here? New York University.
I am from NYU.
Are you on assignment or something?
Yeah, it's an assignment. You basically have to, find a crowd, find an atmosphere, and then you gotta, how can I say, find specific conversations. Go with that. I'm not with the atmosphere. I'm done like go against fascism. So that's like a line and some sort of. So I did this. I did the subway thing, and I decided this would be,
Go for capitalism. How about that?
Yeah.
Go for the rule of law. How about that?
In this place, that ain't gonna happen.
I don't think you're gonna find much of it. But then again, coming from New York University, they're not expecting to find that stuff over here.
I've been to two meetings. One was the socialist meeting. The second one, the socialist meeting, and the other one was a Republican meeting.